Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in today. For this video I'm going to be going over the current event, the anniversary event, the second part to it. Sorry I missed the first one, guys. It's been a busy week, but let's not delay and let's get right into the content. The first part of this is going to be the value pack as usual, and this one is kind of a mixed bag because while I personally don't value these cake coupons and these energies that highly, depending on what you're looking to do, you may very well have a different opinion, because this is a Wales by a large margin. And when I say that, it's usually two different things that it means. Basically, it can mean that either the event is just centered around Wales because the currency that they're selling makes it very difficult to actually complete the event, and that's true for this event, but also in this case it also is incredibly important for Wales to actually participate in this event, mostly because of the new girls that are going to be available, and I'm going to be getting into that very shortly. The second part of this is the anniversary slot machine, where you can spend your energy 1, 2, 5, or 10 at a time to roll this wheel. I don't think it really matters too much how much energy you spend at a time. I personally just go for the highest I can at any given moment, because I feel if I can get lucky with something like in roll scrolls, at least, that way I'll get a bunch of them at once. Whereas if you do manage to get lucky rolling individually, you'll only get one of them. So I don't think it really matters though in the end of it all, because you're most likely just going to get these coins, and these coins can be spent in the shop. And this is the first part of what I was talking about. Because Phoenix and Wraith are actually available at this point in the event, you're going to want to get them if you can afford them. Phoenix is going to make your team so much stronger. It's ridiculous. I'm going to do a video on her specifically this week as well to kind of drive the point across on that. But as far as spending money on this game goes, there's no more value that you're going to get than getting a 10-star Phoenix on your team as fast as possible after her release. She will fall off in about a year from now, but as this current point in time where she's just released, she's going to be the strongest by a pretty significant margin. And even Wraith in PvP is still quite strong. I'm going to do a video on her as well to kind of dissect the differences between her and Phoenix, but the biggest thing would be that Wraith is far better at PvE. Her boss damage is actually incredible, but let's not get into that too much right now. But if you're looking to make either of these girls, you're going to have to put a lot of money into this slot machine. For most players, I think you're probably better off going with the pet food, and that's because pet food could actually be quite hard to get for low to pay to play players, especially the blue one. You're going to end up maxing out your pet level, and you probably won't have the blue, like the skills, leveled up by that time. So if you can help push the curve a little bit by buying some here, that can help you. Or if you just want to make sure you get over the hump with the levels quickly, this can help that as well. Because in the end, you're going to want to have 3 max level pets for varsity. So don't think just so like, oh, I can have this one pet max pretty soon, so I don't really need to worry about this pet food stuff or the servant material. You're still going to want 2 more after the first one. So there's a ton of resources that end up going into those servants, and don't underestimate how much that's going to cost. So this is an opportunity to get some of those things. Now, if you do use something like Gambler, this is actually a pretty good skin. 4% attack is nice, but 2% health is not really that useful. Again, I think it's another tier 2 skin. Same with the Javelin one. Attack, health, hit rate. They're good stats, but they're not the best stats you can get from skins. So I put them at tier 2. I don't know if most people would want to spend money to get these skins specifically, so that's going to be at your discretion. The summer pack is pretty decent value as usual. They always make these have high gem value, but they also try to value the currencies. So again, you're going to be looking at these cake coupons and these slot energies. And because of that, it's going to skew it in one way or the other depending on whether or not you actually intend on getting a specific goal for those events. Now, if you are going to, the $5 and $70 packages are definitely worth it, especially if you want the new Hexa skin. And again, this is another one where attack, crit, and crit damage, at least with crit and crit damage, those are extremely valuable to Hexa's kit, so it kind of makes it a little bit better than the average skin, but I still don't think it's the best. You really want speed on these things. If a skin doesn't have speed, it's not going to be crucial to get it. However, if you're looking to do more PvE damage, sometimes these attack boosts can be quite nice. Unfortunately, Hexa's not really a E girl, so I don't really think it synergizes very well, but everyone knows why other people are buying these. It's not for the stats anyway. And we have the anniversary slot points. As you actually use the energy points on the anniversary slot machine, you'll hit these milestones. Most of them are very difficult to hit for the average player. I have not purchased any of the anniversary slot machines, and I doubt I'm even going to hit the 100 mark. So again, unless you're looking for very specific spots on this post, like if you want to hit the 200, spending money on it is going to be very hard to justify. So again, look at what goals you're trying to hit and then spend accordingly to that. Of course, like I said earlier though, if you are looking to spend a lot of money to get Phoenix and Wraith, or one of them, you probably won't get both. There are some good prizes at the end of this. These exclusive shards and the orange antique shards, these are extremely valuable, but getting to them is extremely difficult. Okay, the cake making part of this event has been going on since the last event, so it's kind of carried over 2 weeks now. And basically, you're just going to get these coupons, and you can purchase different things for different rates. Now, I think the first 3 are all great, specifically if you have Amazon. I think most people should have Amazon, especially since recently they've been giving away a lot of them. There was one available in a girl transfer event, and the what's it called, the assembly. So that gave you basically enough to 6-star, and then one in the transfer shop by default. So it's very easy to level her up, and I think people should be taking advantage of that. And since, even though I consider this a, again, tier 2 skin, the fact that you can get it for this currency is nice. You get 2 of these super casino tokens every time you claim one of these, so that's also great. The tier 2 is the same way. Now, depending on what you're looking for, if you want the Sonya because you're looking to make her on your team, say 9, 10-star, whatever the case may be, you're going to want to try and invest in her, but it's quite difficult to get some of these spots without spending a lot of money. I personally am just going to try and get the 5-star shards and then the red antique shard. The red antique shard can still give you a nice red speed artifact, which are quite good, especially going back to Amazon again. If you can get a red antique speed on Amazon with a speed crystal, that will give you a good spot to beat other Amazons of the same level in speed, so that you can get your silence off first, which is very important. The third spot is, this one's a little bit weak because it's mostly just single tier 5-star light and dark girls for 1,200 a piece, which is hard to justify. I imagine even whales would have a hard time buying this stuff. Most people are probably just going to buy one, and it's probably going to be the Gabriel skin, just so that they can get to the next tier, because I don't know if these things are very worth it. Getting 5 seals is nice, but the cost is tough. Again, here we have another Wraith or Phoenix, so already there's 2 of them available for you. That means you can get them to 8-star. If you can find one in the actual summonings, you can get them right to 9-star. This is quite good if you're looking to spend a lot of money on this event, and this kind of accelerates you through that. Now, one thing I would say is that there's probably not going to be another one dropped into events for the next 2 or 3 months as a way to try and incentivize people to spend more on the actual summons. So you've got to be lucky getting past 9 and 10-star. So best of luck to anyone who tries, and if you are looking for that, all the power to you. Now, the 5th one is actually quite good too. This antique is actually amazing. This Thorn's Heart or Thorn's Heart, sorry, maybe? I don't know. It's hard to see with the font that they've chosen. With 11% attack, 10% crit, and 25% crit damage at level 1, mind you. This levels up, so these stats are going to go higher. This is probably the highest damaging antique in the game right now, and it probably will remain that way for quite some time, because all 3 of these stats are high, and all of the 3 of these stats just increase raw DPS output. So if you have a very specific DPS unit, again like Hexa, this is going to make her do wonders. This is an amazing thing for DPS, and it's hard to go into too much detail about because it's very simple. It puts a lot of damage on a unit. You put it on a unit that already does a lot of damage, they're going to do even more damage. It's just great. Hard to afford though. 3,200 tokens is insane. And on the other side of this, we have the Assassin suit. And these suits are really important specifically because they have these extra bonus stats. And they only work for that class, as would be indicated by the actual fact that it's an assassin suit. It only works on assassins. Unfortunately, right now, assassins are not in a great spot, except for the fact that they just released Wraith and Phoenix. So if you do get those girls, you're probably going to want this here set for whatever one you do buy. And giving like attack and crit, health and armor break, attack and crit damage, and health and speed. That's the big one right there. That's speed. If you have a level 10 Phoenix, and your opponent has a level 10 Phoenix, but you have the assassin set on, and these boots are giving her extra speed, that's going to feel so good to see that your team is just better by default. You're going to win these fights because these stat bonuses are so important. And that's going to remain true for a extremely long time. So the value on this suit is extremely high, but it's being compared to this here amazing antique. I personally, it's hard to say. If you're going to get a top tier Phoenix or Wraith, you're probably better off going out with the assassin suit, because you can find things that will give you either close to this or at least somewhat of an equivalent to it. However, you will be very hard pressed to find another 20 speed from these that you're going to get from these assassin boots. So personally, I like this set a little bit better, but there's a strong case to be made for both of them for sure. And either way, you're going to get 50 of these orange antique shards, so just good stuff all around. The anniversary sign-in bonus is very simple. Basically, every day that you sign in, click this button, you'll get a reward. It happens up to 7 times, with the last one being some seals, so it's great. It's just free stuff. Thanks, devs, for the free stuff. Appreciate it. The girls' exchange this time is going to be Gambler and Michelle, or Michael, Kale, whichever. And depending on what you're trying to build, if you're actually trying to get a 6, 9, 10 star of Michelle on your team, then this is going to be quite valuable, but it's extremely difficult to afford. 6,500 tokens I think it costs, which is brutal. And Gambler's in a very similar position, where Gambler is pretty much a PvE oriented girl, so I think she comes in at 4,500 tokens. So unless you're very specifically making a PvE oriented team, it's going to be hard to justify purchasing her. But if you are, she is one of the best PvE girls in the game, so go for it. If that's what you're leaning on and that's what you're trying to do in this in your playthrough of this, then I would definitely recommend it, especially if you already have one or a level 8 and you're looking for one to get to 9 star. This is a perfect way to get it. But one thing I want to stress here, especially for the light and dark or your angel and demon girls that show up in these things, do not sacrifice your entire team for this. I've seen so many posts on Facebook this time and the last time when Lucifer was out of people just throwing away everything to get these girls. Not only are they not that strong in comparison to a full team, but they're also incredibly difficult to maintain. If you have to throw away everything you have to get one 5-star, you're never going to hit that 10-star plateau, so you're just going to keep throwing away all your stuff over and over again and make zero progress. Do not do that stuff. Only go for these girls if you already have the intent and the materials to keep progressing these angel and demon girls. They are such a bait and switch when it comes to low tier players. Do not buy these if you do not plan on spending a lot of money. League Ace is very typical. You just have to do battles in the arena, get 2 points when you win, 1 point when you lose. Make sure to get your varsity done quickly. It's going to end today, I'm pretty sure, so make sure that if you haven't done your varsity battles yet, get them done now. Getting a bunch of seals and a free hexa and a ton of gems, just free stuff. There's no reason not to. You can very easily pool up these tokens as well. They don't cost a lot of money. You can buy them in a shop for 50k. So make sure to get this stuff done. Very easy event. Pretty much just free materials. Take them while you can. And the anniversary gift card. This one's a little bit weird. The value here is through the roof, especially if you're VIP like 5 or higher. Then the super slot tickets that you get every day are actually ridiculous. But I'm not sure if this carries over in the same way that a few other events have, because it has a date listed at 102 hours remaining, but when it says when you purchase it for the next 14 days, you'll get these rewards. But now I don't know if this actually carries over from the day you purchase it, you get 14 days, or if it was from the day it was released, you get 14 days. However, most people will still get their value out of it, even if you bought it a few days late. If someone in the comments could kind of clear this up, I don't know if there's anyone who would know exactly how this system works, because they're pretty unclear about what's going on here, but the value is definitely insane. And if you bought this in the first week, you're definitely getting your value worth. It starts to get a little bit trickier now, because 888 gems per day, I'd say you'd have to get at least 3 of them to really make up your money's worth. But if you're already high VIP, you might be able to compensate that with the actual lot token you're getting as well. And on top of that, you get so much gold for this if you're like above level 100. There's so much currency being thrown around with this anniversary gift card. I definitely bought it. I definitely do advise other people to buy it. I just wish I could say if this was a guaranteed 14-day prize, or if it depends on when you purchase it as opposed to when it was released. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think of this event. I think it's awesome because there's a ton of stuff going on. This is probably the longest event video I've ever done. A ton of free stuff you can do. There's a ton of whale stuff you can do. So no matter how you play this game, this event is going to offer a lot. Even mid-tier players, stuff like this anniversary gift card. If you're a tier VIP 5 player like I am, this is amazing. This is such good value for you. So I feel everyone has something to do in this event, but let me know what you guys think. Have I missed something here? Am I being blinded by the fact that they're giving me free stuff, and maybe this is actually a really bad event? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching and have a great day.